Hi everyone and welcome to 16 Figure Focus, and you are very welcome to episode number 52 of The Focus, a live stream dedicated to all things 1/6 scale collecting related. Got a few things to go through on this particular live stream. Gonna have to give you the, I suppose, obligatory warning now. This live stream contains copious amounts of enabling FOMO and hype. Watching may result in pre-ordering, loss of funds, and significant other. Just giving you the heads up, folks. You can't say you weren't warned. Make up your own mind with the information that you see and hear here. But thank you very much to the 11 people in the chat. And thank you very much to Peter from Triple G Comics, and Ben, the attention-seeking geek, and Marco from 16Fix may be joining us later, and Calvin, aka Low Key Collector. Now, the beauty of this is Marco is the only one not going to Star Wars Celebration this week. So we're going to let him know that if he joins us. And if he's watching now, he's probably not going to join us live. But yeah, look, it'll have to be done. Guys, it's been ages since we spoke.
Yeah.
It's been like a long time.
Yeah.
A whole two hours.
Yeah.
And it was there was dark times though, but just your memory and the looking forward to seeing you got me through. So is there any point in asking you
And
how
chips.
you are?
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Excited about
Mixing is
Celebration, so
strange.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat excited about Celebration? Anyone excited about going? Maybe you're going. Maybe you're there for the full weekend. Maybe you're coming from abroad. Maybe you're there from one day. Maybe you're not there, but you're excited about potential drops, announcements, movies, collecting statues. Let us know how you're feeling, and I will get some background tunes going here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
get the vibe.
Okay. So, just in case you haven't done so already, if you're liking the content, make sure you sub to 16 Figure Focus on YouTube and follow at 16 Figure Focus on Instagram. Then you can go over and follow or subscribe to Ben, the Attention Seeking Geek on YouTube. It's going to happen, Ben. You're 868, I believe. It's going to happen, Ben. We're going to be super chatting the shit out of you in no time.
I'm getting about 10 a year, so the ratio at the moment means that
Shorts, Ben. Shorts.
I know.
So a few more. Celebration. That'll be. He's going to take a few clips in Celebration. Share some shorts. Share some shorts, and then that's going to tip you over the edge.
That's all I hear when I speak to Irish people. Anyway.
Yeah, share some shorts. Prick. Yeah, this is going to be a swearing. I've decided just this one is going to be a swearing stream. So we've got Ben, the Attention Seeking Geek.
Let your hair down.
Sorry?
It's half term. Let your hair down.
Yeah, go on. Exactly. There we go. So if you could subscribe to Ben, the Attention Seeking Geek on YouTube, and follow at the Attention Seeking Geek on Instagram. And finally, last but not least, he's not from Scotland. He's from Newcastle.
I'm near Scotland. Scotland.
Yeah. Peter, Triple G Comics with the exclamation mark on YouTube, or at Triple G_Comics on Instagram.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Will we say hello to the chat briefly? Eddie Rodriguez is there. This podcast shall help me get through the cardio session. I think you were putting undue pressure on the three of us, to be honest. Brannon Salads, the drops today. Yeah, Clone Trooper, and those beautiful updates. I think we're all in agreement. Their Hot Toys have come out swinging today with those updates. Empire Strikes Again. Phil is going to Celebration. We have Keith, the 6 scale. I can't even talk today. Sorry, 1 second.
That would be why you can't talk.
Yeah. Wet the whistle.
Well, this is the first.
10 of them.
Much better now. Bumblebee. All right, here we go. Keith is Irish. That's what I was trying to say. You get two of us in a room together, you know how it is. And he's going to Celebration as well, and he's a collector and avid Star Wars fan. Wants my heavy Mandalorian for like, I think it's €80 and a packet of crisps, but no, not happening. Riley Reviews is here, just says, yo, how are you do? Duran Moss saying hello to everyone. You boys putting in a shift today? Absolutely. Talia Myers here. Talia Myers everywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the videos and stuff like that. Very much appreciated. The countdown begins. The countdown actually started for me about a year ago. But yeah, we're in the final countdown. I'll stop. Phil is here. Cannot wait for celebration. Iron King is here. Just got my What If Ultron.
Oh,
nice.
Oh my god, it's amazing, Shane. Honestly, you need to see it in hand, fully diecast.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
I didn't know it was
fully-
diecast. Yeah.
I knew it
you
had
had the
elements
diecast
or
emblem.
whatever, but that's amazing.
I mentioned that in a stream last night because it didn't look diecast. So I'm definitely that sealed the deal.
Yeah, it's I thought he was such a good villain.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think the reason we didn't get him in the second Avengers film is because there would be no 3 or 4 then.
Yeah.
It would have been no need for Thanos. Ultron's got it sorted. Nothing exists anymore.
And James Spader's voice was just
So good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So the Nemesis has arrived. Good day to the community of collectors. This guy owns a Batwing.
Oh,
Yeah, he owns the
mounted
Jazzy
on the
Batwing.
wall or flat?
Just
That's the question.
It's
if
massive.
someone
the Batwing,
gave me a
isn't it?
Batwing, I wouldn't care if it was on the walls or if it was on my roof. Or
I don't even think my walls could hold it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's amazing piece. Phil again. Payden is here again. It's a fine looking pint. I actually poured that myself. I did indeed, using the Guinness Nitro Surge and Nitro Surge cans. We are not sponsored by Guinness, but if Guinness has some really strange niche sponsorship deals they want to give out, we will take them. We have another Keith.
I hate Guinness.
And yeah, I think we're pretty much up to. I'll read this final comment here. Oh, they're talking among themselves. I love the way the chat are just here to socialize. That's good though, getting the chat in. All right. So what's coming up?
At least they're there, Shane. At least they're there.
Exactly, they're there. Look, we will not complain. We got 22 here, people. Really appreciate you people tuning in to watch. If you maybe want to just let us know where you are, what time zone you are. What you're doing. Are you a work dodger? Are you supposed to be working and not working, or are you just home from work, or where are you? Throw a flag in the chat and you'll see how crap my geography is. Alright, we're going to go through really quickly new videos on the channel, new streams, and then we're going to go talk about the Clone Pilot, and we're going to talk about the Hot Toys updates, because I think we're all in agreement they are phenomenal looking. Okay, so In-Art Joke reviews up there, Shit Collector Say episode 4 is up there. My thoughts on this Iron Man, this Jesse, this Ultron, this Kang. Moving on. When Woo's out, a little bit of a chat about it.
You've been a busy boy, haven't you?
We have been busy, but half term. Did anyone else see this and think Ravage from the Transformers?
Yeah.
Ravage came out of Soundwave, correct?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool.
So the 3-0 Soundwave from the Bumblebee movie, you get Ravage with it, and if you pose it just right, you can get him leaping out of the chest cavity.
Class.
It's super.
And does Ravage? I suppose I'd be right in saying that the start of Bumblebee, they're on Cybertron, and they actually look like they did in G1.
It's the only bit of a Transformer movie I like. Yeah.
Me and you, we're gonna. That's gonna be when we sit down over the weekend and we have a pint. That's how we're gonna start. We're gonna sit down, pint, bag of crisps, and go. It's the only bit of a Transformers movie. Like that's how we're gonna start our conversation.
That whole film's good, man. Though you can't like.
It is.
It's out of the rest of them. It's the best out of what we've had so far.
It is definitely. I just want to touch on something there though. Obviously the cat doesn't turn into a cassette because no one in the chat knows what a cassette is. No. In fairness, the age demographic on these channels tend to be
there's a lot of
30s
old
on,
boys out there,
which is great. But the modern audience, no one knows what a tape is. Tapes, we used to call them in Ireland, tape. But so it doesn't transform into a cassette. I'm guessing.
Remember having to get your pen in and like wind it.
Wind
it.
it.
It became loose. Yeah.
And I don't know
100%.
what it was with tapes in teachers, because our religious education teacher used to always kind of sell bootleg tapes for you, and I've heard that from a few different people. That it seemed
He was Irish, was he?
Peter.
He was
He was
Irish.
probably Irish. Yeah.
We love piracy. You know that that ad. Do you have these? We have these ads in the start of usually you go to the cinema, and then there's a few ads at the start, and there's always some boring ads, telling you like don't litter or whatever. Like fair enough, But there's one that's like, you wouldn't steal a handbag, and it shows someone stealing a handbag. You wouldn't steal a car. It probably would if it was as easy as as copying a tape, like, and it was as widespread and not policed, like. But we got another person here. Another person who's going to Celebration. Calvin, you're going to love our plan when I tell you our plan.
Hi, Calvin.
What's going on, guys?
Calvin is driving. You're working.
Yes. Hey, I got to make some money for Celebration.
Do you know what I love about technology? You are coming through crystal clear, and like you're at the other end of the world, and we're all saying this is class. Like,
And I'm in the middle of the desert. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere right now.
Good stuff. Look, all of us are going to
Breaking
Celebration, and Marco is joining the chat later on, so we're going to have to give him a little bit of abuse. Is that fair enough,
I give him shit all the time.
Why do you think I invited you? Why did you think I invited
natural.
you?
It's only natural.
Okay, so going to continue on with this. All right, so what else? Thoughts on this pilot? Well, we're going to talk about this now. And this video, I was editing this, but then I realized I was 15 minutes late for Ben's stream, so I stopped editing this, hopped on, and I just finished that after, and I posted it. It's going to go live in about 2 hours, but look, we're going to be talking about that anyway. A few live streams that are up on the channel now, so pretty much done. That's pretty much what's on or coming up on the channel now. And really quickly fly through some of these chats. You have a we have a £5 super chat from Phil. The Empire Strikes Again. Can't let the pint go without a reward. Greatly appreciated. And look, I'm doing something new. I came prepared. On the off chance I got any super chats, I believe this is how you say thank you in Jawa. So right, we've got that. Thank you very much appreciated, Phil. Thank you.
I don't want to correct you, but it was actually hello that you just played in Jawa.
There's always one person who's
Do the
fluent in
research.
Jawa on the stream. You always have one.
Nerd.
All right, okay.
You do
This is
Tusken
why I don't
Raider
do
as
Lord
well.
of the Rings streams.
That's Klingon. If you just want to,
Get out.
Okay, we're going to move back to English, right? Anyway, thanks very much, or hello very much, Phil. Very much appreciated. So, we'll put up this. I'm going to start off with Calvin because he's the only person I haven't spoken to about this today. Calvin, thoughts? Is this, you do collect prequels, I believe? Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you a trooper man? Do you have any interest in this?
No interest in troopers. No, not really.
Good
I
chat.
think
Good chat.
that yellow looks really good. That
Yeah.
yellow looks good on it for whatever reason. I don't know why that yellow's popping, but I'm a pass on that one.
You dodged the trooper addiction, so
Yes, I did.
good stuff. And so Peter, I believe you've also dodged the trooper addiction.
I have, but I'm starting to scare myself. Because I've always said when Ben, because it's his fault, when
Sorry?
Ben first got us into collecting 1/6 figures, I said I wouldn't go down a Star Wars route, and I bought Vader for my movie collection. Then I've bought the new Luke to go with him. Now I've bought Mando, and now I'm starting to look at them and thinking they look very sexy. So I'm starting to get a bit worried that I am going to start going down a Star Wars route, and I do like the look of the troopers. I think I would go original trilogy trooper first. Would be the first pickup.
I think even if someone's like a non-collector, I think if you got a straight up original trilogy white trooper for them, that'd be something you could just stick in an office, or it wouldn't be out of place. It's just like toys
So
for big
recognizable,
boys.
isn't it?
And it's real cool look. It's just it's a clean looking trooper, like. But do you know what's better than one trooper?
2.
12 of them. So, so you this is not for you, or you kind of don't really seem that convincing, Peter. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. It's convincing that I'm not buying it, or convincing that I
Yeah.
am buying it.
Convincing that you're not buying it.
Yeah.
Like James is here. James is here, and he's basically weighing in here and just saying "Ayo," but he came in at the right time. He know if he was here, he'd be saying, I don't know. We'll wait and see. As in, I think. Yeah, you're going to have a trooper. It's only a
I
matter
think
of time.
Celebration's going to be a challenge for my wallet.
Ah.
So
Yeah, I'd say I think so. And Ben, this is a no for you, I'm guessing, is it?
Yeah, it's a no for me. There's not, you know, I can show you. My Star Wars collection is limited to a Detolf, and it's, as you can see, pretty kind of populated and got a, you know, I've got a very set plan with it, and unfortunately that plan doesn't involve, you know, pilots and sort of, you know, that kind of secondary layer of kind of characters and stuff, to be honest. So, but I am also in the market for a classic Stormtrooper, and they're bloody expensive on the second-hand market, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping for some kind of a re-release of just the classic clean Trooper, because I've got a spot right next to my Wicket that I'd like. Although the Scout Trooper I quite like as well. So yeah, Celebration is also going to be dangerous for me as well, because if any of those are on the stalls, then
I tell you what, costumes always appealed to us, but it would be a whole new set of collection, I guess. Is the Crimson Guard from the Empire, from the Emperors?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know those red guys?
yeah.
I don't know why I've always been drawn to them, so they would look cool. But yeah, oh god.
But this is nice. This is like you know, as Calvin said, that little, you know, bit of yellow really makes it pop. And I know we're going to come maybe to the other helmet in a moment, but I think that's probably the thing that interests me a little bit more, is the second option with the mouth apparatus kind of on it. I just think this looks so different to, you know, any other trooper really, and we were saying earlier, I got called out because I didn't realise that this was actually from the animated show and didn't even appear in Attack of the Clones. And it, to be honest, it's completely passed me by as a design. I don't think I'd really sort of ever took the time to appreciate or even notice this. And now it's kind of getting the spotlight. I'm really quite drawn to it. It's very different, and looks really nice there.
Yeah, like this one, like if this was if they had the, I don't know, I don't know what the merch situation is like in Star Wars Celebration. I presume it'll be like a massive a wallet, a money vacuum, but you know, I might be able to stretch to get one item, but I'm not going to be going on a shopping spree over there. But I'd prefer to get something like this than some just like silver Stormtrooper, personally.
Oh yeah.
I like screen accuracy, and with this as well, you do have, like, you can have it the first helmet, or if you want to pose. I actually love this, but like I said earlier on, I don't collect Clone Wars, but this is actually branded Attack of the Clones, and you have the Attack of the Clones helmet, but you have the option to swap out a really cool helmet that appears in Clone Wars without going down the Clone Wars line. It's like the best of both worlds, and it's just a super looking trooper. Yeah, it's hard to know, because at Celebration there is like, I'm really looking forward to it, but there's this weird booking system for the shop, isn't it?
For the official
do they
shop.
not want to make
The
money?
official, yeah.
So what's the difference between the official shop and the unofficial shops? Is there a bunch of guys with coats?
Yeah.
Troopers.
You want to
So
buy a
the
trooper?
official,
You want to buy some
the
dead
official
sticks?
shop,
Both, yeah.
The official shop is only like it, you know, like a collection of like t-shirts, you know, pins, like branded jackets, and like it's a very specific kind of, you know, it will maybe be comprised of like you know, 4 or 5 stalls, and that will be it. But the whole room's going to be full of traders, both official and unofficial as well. You know, I think there's a lot of just general kind of toy retailers and stuff like that going. So yeah, like the official shop is only the Star Wars Celebration kind of branded bits and bobs, basically. But I've got a spot, so if you want anything, I can. Yeah, you got a spot.
I said it before. Ben's going to take like orders, and he's going to walk in one door, and he's going to walk out the other. We never see them again.
Just be like, I didn't fancy buying anything in the end.
Just a man who likes his troopers and clones. Ryan, Jedi Patrol, thanks very much for dropping in. Definitely. What are you looking forward to about Celebration, Ryan? If you're still there, do you think there's going to be announcements this week, or will they hold off till May 4th? Anything that you think they might drop from 40th? That's questions open to anyone, really. What do you actually think will drop? You know what? We're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to go off on a little focus question for everyone. Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. I anticipate a Vader and a Boba because that's what they do. Some sort of 2.0s or reissues because, again, that's what they do. But is there anything like people are looking forward to that they maybe haven't done before that you anticipate they could realistically do? I think Akbar on a chair is a realistic thing that they could do.
I'd love that.
Like, it's Star Wars, it's Aliens, it's Return of the Jedi, it's a trap. It's, come on. Like, I think that's something they could very well do. You don't have to pay an actor for likeness, so yeah. I don't know. I flick down, just want to address some of these chats. Boat helmets look awesome on this clone pilot. Completely agree with you. Somebody ban Jeddah. He's enabling. We all make our own decisions, folks. Come on. And look, he's getting abuse already. Blame Jeddah.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Since he's listening,
yes.
I blame Jeddah. My whole spiral downfall is all his fault. From Funko Pops with Shumi Toys and West Covina.
Can the man watch a stream without getting abused? Give the guy a break.
I met the owner there, and he had a hot toy selection. I had no clue what a hot toy was. And then I was like, what is this? And then that just did a whole downward spiral. So I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much.
I want that Blue Harvest cap, though. Is that not Blue Harvest? Is that not Family Guy?
No, the Family Guy was named their spoof Blue Harvest after Star Wars because it was a working title.
Right, I'm with you now. Yeah,
and then Family Guy kind of used it as a.
I love that. I just realized I need to go and buy a DVD player because I have a lot of these things on DVD that I haven't watched in years, and I thought Blue Harvest. I love Family Guy, but it was great. Keith from Ireland says, "Where do we send our lists to, Ben?" Ryan,
the problem is I do charge VAT, so
look, they need to get in line.
Of course you do. Ryan has said, Jeddah said, I don't bother with speculation and celebration. Sit back and enjoy the show. Yeah, that might be the way to go. We'll get what we get and we won't get what we won't get. Ewoks, lots of Ewoks. I'd love to see a parody of The Matrix where Neo says, we need Ewoks. Lots of Ewoks. Actually, second question of the night. Please chime in if you've seen John Wick 4. I have not seen it because I want to rewatch 1, 2, and 3. I watched 1 the other night. I'm going to watch 2 probably tomorrow night and 3, and I want to see it before I go to Celebration. But maybe if you want to chime in and let me know what you thought.
It's fabulous.
Boosh. Is it Boosh or Bausch?
I've always said Boosh, but
Boosh.
Have you ever heard of
words wrong?
Have you ever heard of a band called Bon Iver? They do that song Skinny Love. So a lot of people would pronounce it. No. We've got 30 in the chat. We're doing all right. A lot of people. It's spelled BON space IVER. Right, they're really, really fantastic music. Really, really good band. But a lot of people would pronounce it Bon Iver. But it's actually called Bon Iver because it means good winter in French or something like that.
Oh,
so there's the story. Yeah. Now. So apparently they were playing in London a few years ago. Like my mate was at it, and they came out and they're like, "Hello, London," or whatever. Like, we are Bon Iver, and he goes, I swear half the crowd turned to the other crowd and goes, I fucking told you. But Boosh, Boosh?
I say Boosh. Shit, there was a great recent comic run that it was like a spin-off about the armor and where it came from and things like that.
It's very cool. That I think that one with a head sculpt. I think I can see that happening. I think that's a realistic.
That would be good.
That's not too out there, like, you know what I mean? I think that's something that we could get. Gold C-3PO with the chair. Why don't they just give us the 2-pack? The most obvious 2-pack in history of 2-pack. It should be just give us the gold C-3PO and the R2-D2 2-pack. Would that not be such an obvious 2-pack that would sell?
Have they done them as die-cast yet?
No.
Pardon?
Have they done them as die-cast? The CP3
I don't think
Not
so.
Hot Toys. No, there was a
Tamashii Nations.
the Tamashii Nations one did the They look nice, but they're very, very expensive.
Yeah. My nemesis has said John Wick 4 is the best. Come here, did you have to buy an extra seat? One for you and one for the 89 Batwing, like, or did you just hold it in your lap for any popcorn out of it for the whole
Didn't know
2 hours and 49 minutes? I'm not bitter. John Wick 4, little light in the violence though.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm anyway.
Yeah. Spends far too long on talky bits and plot. Do you know what I mean?
Would love Mighty Boosh Leah with old Greg and the crack. That's a is that your man from? Oh god, this is the Bake Off.
Yeah.
Noel.
Or
It's not
Fielded.
Noel. Yeah. He's funny. What's Utini in French, Shane?
Jetini.
Yeah. Every 40th figure comes with a monkey lizard, right?
Nice.
Mugwump. Seeing it tomorrow. Anyone else wondering whether the recent disappearance of the Hot Toys solicitation may be due to competition from another company? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a big conspiracy about them taking down the John Wick and something wasn't ready or whatever. Like, nah. Left it in the trunk. Yeah, you're yeah. I would bring that thing with me everywhere. It's a pretty good piece. Okay, so flick through a few more of these. Any other last comments? I loved that they give us the binoculars. I really like the colors here. 2 helmets, those air hoses or whatever they are. The life support machine. I'm gonna call that life support machine. Air purifier. I don't know what it is on the chest. It looks really, really cool. Binoculars look good. 2 helmets. I can see a lot of people getting 2 of these.
Yeah, pretty cool.
But like as a display, if you've got multiple, the plain version, lots of those, and then just one of these, I just think it will really elevate anyone who's got that kind of mass trooper style collection.
Yeah. My plan is just to pose this guy next to Cody because, like I said, Cody was a gift, but I would have bought Cody anyway, despite it being a prequels figure. It's just a really, really cool trooper. And this guy here, I think, next to Cody, I just think they're going to look really well together. Yeah, I'm actually really hyped about this one. Haven't got a trooper in a long time. Yeah, $235. In my video today, I said, I'm going to wait for this on a discount. But we all know the discounts, they're not going to last forever. So I don't know if they're Sideshow are ordering less or Hot Toys are making less. If Hot Toys are making less, those bargains will dry up probably within 12 months. If they're not, then you're just going to have to source them from somewhere that's not Sideshow. But I made a point in my video, I was like, yeah, I'll probably get this. I won't pay $235. I'll see if I can get it for under 200 shipped. I'd be happy enough with that. I do think this would be reduced because troopers tend to get reduced. And then I was like, yeah, maybe it's going to go on a BOGO. But it can't go on a BOGO because it's already waitlisted in Sideshow, and all the BOGO stuff was stuff that was in stock. You know what I mean?
For now.
Unless it suddenly magically comes back.
I'm trying to work out what BOGO means.
Buy one, get one.
All right.
So there before... It's hard to keep up because we got BOGOs and DOPOs and FOMOs.
We normally say bog off, so buy one, get one free. But Got you. I've got you now. I'm with you now, Shane. I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah.
All this bloody technical talk, man. I'm still learning.
Yeah, this is highbrow stuff, Peter.
Yeah.
Down,
Highbrow
get
stuff.
down with the kids, Pete.
Word. So we got Ryan, Mr. Mom's Collectibles here. Tremble Dust is saying, hasn't the movie only come out like 2 weeks ago? People have some patience. Yeah, we're kind of. I think collectors, for the most part, Hot Toys collectors are relatively patient people. You put your pre-order down, and well, it gets to you when it gets to you. Eh? Love that helmet. So cool looking. Totally agree. Both of them. It's relaxing watching Calvin drive along. Need to change this so we can see Calvin.
Hey!
Giving the fans what they want. 40th anniversary Jabba the Hutt. Okay, now there's one. Oh, like is that could that be a thing? I know Sideshow did it, but
I don't think
could it be a thing?
It would have to be huge, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I just don't. I just think there's like an honor code between Sideshow and Hot Toys, and I think there are certain releases that Sideshow have done and that still, kind of keep Sideshow's name out there. And Jabba, that whole Jabba, well, he comes separately, and then you've got the base and everything like that. I just don't think Hot Toys will tread on Sideshow's toes with that.
Do you think there's
I don't
that
know. I
much
mean,
respect
I'd
here?
love to see it, but
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, we'll know now we'll know within a few months, I'd say, when if they do it or not. Like, but I don't think I'd get a Jabba, to be honest. I know.
I've been eyeing it up. I'm not going to lie. The Sideshow.
Yeah.
one.
You've been looking
I
at
saw
that
a blur.
slug.
I saw a blur for the first time in person on Sunday. That thing was massive. So I don't know what they would do with a Jabba.
And how did you manage to avoid it in the truck? I couldn't. So where you saw the Frankensons, did you?
Right. Oh, I went on my motorcycle to Frankensons on purpose, so I didn't have any space to pick up anything that day. I know I was with Mario and my Frankenson brothers, and all they do is, pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah. So the I just have to bring someone in.
Here
Now,
we go.
just bear in mind now.
Jabba.
Is this my queen brother right here?
Well, look, all I'm saying is we're all going to Celebration, right? But we don't want to upset him, right? So we're just gonna bring him in here. So
He should be riding on high. His basketball team is doing something, or so he thinks.
Finally. Thanks for rubbing that in. I wish I was going to Celebration with y'all, but hey, what's going on?
Crying right now? Are you?
I've been crying. Yeah.
Come on, man. Tell Gigi to sign your permission slip. Come on.
I know. The problem is we've been angling to go to Europe together, and so for me to go without her before she graduates is kind of a non-starter.
Okay.
So we will get there,
All right.
but just not this year.
I get it.
yeah,
Good to see you, bro.
you have to come to Ireland. So
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. I'll show you the place to go. I'll actually bring you to Forbidden Planet and show you why I don't shop there.
All right, we'll see all the ridiculous markups.
£600 Hot Toys, good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
wow.
it's like Trooper deal reduced down from $650. Yeah,
Crazy.
You've actually come in at the right time, Marco. So, you are not opposed to Troopers, I believe, but you wouldn't be like a diehard Trooper collector, or am I right? or
I
wrong
am
on
not
that?
a diehard Trooper collector. I have a few more Troopers than I even anticipated. I think I've got 3 clone Troopers, and I'm not even into the Clone Wars. I just like the design, so not opposed.
And do you like this one?
I love this one. I don't like the animated sculpt as much, so this one that's being shown here, I like that the least, but I think this is a really cool one, and I'm kind of considering it.
I think this looks so good, like both helmets, and the fact that you have the binoculars and different weaponry as well. I definitely have expressed that how much I love this, but
It's the colorway too, right? That pop of yellow is just so dang cool.
Yeah. Mike Vela says, "Hey everyone, if this guy, I've always said if this guy comes on and if this guy comes on and just types normally with no exclamation marks, we just know it's not him. He's the clone. Yeah. Wouldn't a Jabba figure be more like a Jabba statue? Yeah, they're huge. I wouldn't think there'd be much range of motion.
12 points of articulation just on his arms.
Moving tongue. You speak all the dialects. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I had no friends growing up. So.
What do you mean growing up?
Oof.
Don't grow up.
I mean, I'm still growing up, is what I mean.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. So I think we talked this to death. I think we kind of it's nice. Some of us are getting it. Some of us are not getting it. I definitely. I want one. That's just a fact. That's I do. This gets the stamp of approval from me anyway. Okay. So these updates, where do I have my tabs now? Come on. I can just use this. Right. So these particular updates then, that I did not see these updates like coming to fruition. They kind of came out of nowhere because they weren't really updates. One of them was an update, to be fair, right? And we'll talk about that one first. This was an update, but the other two we hadn't seen the sculpts, or am I wrong? Yeah, so Tom was an update, yeah?
Yep.
You're right.
The other two weren't updates. We just never seen them before. Wouldn't that be fair? We didn't actually see the Mighty Thor. I know we saw Padme, we didn't see the Mighty Thor.
Exactly right.
I'll let you talk first there, Marco, or anyone who wants to chime in. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I guess I'll jump in here since I'm in the last one on. So just immediately start taking over the stream. But This is so typical Hot Toys. I guess I'll say I think all three look great, and I appreciate them giving us these updates. But they could have peppered this, out a little bit, in a more logical sense. Like, okay, just give us an update for Tom Holland one day, and then give us an update for Shuri. But the fact that they've dropped all three, like, here you go, this is our communication for the month, is pretty pretty on point for Hot Toys. But yeah, I really like what I'm seeing. The only one that looks a bit suspect is Shuri's head size. I think it looks a bit big, but she's kind of also like a lot of head and very skinny body. So maybe it's on. Maybe it's
must
true to the character.
sidestep joke opportunity.
Uh-oh.
Now moving on.
That's right. But yeah, no, I really like this, and hope we see more of this where they're improving their products, as there's a lot of competition for the 6 scale market. So I like this. But Ben, how about you? What do you think?
I was blown away when this popped up on my feed, and I think you're right. Like the timing does seem weird. Like we obviously got the trooper, and we've had announcements really over the last couple of days, and then this as well. It feels like there's a lot of stuff going on, and to kind of, as you say, do all three in one post, it's almost like sensory overload, because you really want to drink these in and take a moment to sort of appreciate them, because I think all three as near to perfect as we are currently able to get, in 1 6 scale sort of figures. And I think the Tom Holland especially for me is standing out. I think it's I can't critique it in any shape or form, to be honest, because it's bob on. Obviously with the sculpted hair, you're sort of, the realism starts to go a bit, when you are looking at that, as opposed to your sort of in-art rooted hair, style realism. But I think for what it is, this is really quite sensational. So yeah, I wasn't going to get this figure, but now, and Hot Toys have done their job, because I hadn't pre-ordered this, and now I'm considering pre-ordering this. So it's like, yeah. Sorry, Marco, I cut you off.
No, sorry, I was in the process of cutting you off. But I would just say, like, in terms of the rooted hair, would you want to deal with rooted hair trying to get it as movie star perfect as this, right? I feel like Sculpted is perfect.
I see these fuckers with their tweezers and shit like that. I'm like, I'm not in it for that.
I don't want to.
No.
That's nothing to do with Hot Toys, though.
That's right.
Yeah, true. I need to get off those websites.
Amazing.
I think Calvin's dropped out, has he?
Yeah,
He hit a blurg.
He's hit a blurg, yeah. Okay, if the rooted hair, I suppose the only thing that could make this better, in my opinion, the size rooted hair is a pulse. Like this looks like a human in front of me. And you know what the biggest thing to celebrate this? Okay, we know it's a prototype, yada yada yada. You're expecting some sort of slippage or some softening or whatever, but like this is Hot Toys with a young, fresh-faced person. We know they do the old dudes good. We know they do the aliens who like have blue skin or purple like their Thanos or Yondu. They do great Krennics, they great Tarkins. You know, the Boba Fett is I just bang on about that figure a lot, but this is a young, fresh-faced, pretty much wrinkle-free bastard. But yeah, you know, he's you know, it's a fresh-faced human, and they've just nailed it. Like, I hope it turns out as good as this, because that is one of the most impressive head sculpts I've seen. And I suppose kind of your post earlier on, Ben, about you know, kind of, you know, it was funny. It was like in who, as in like in R2. Like it's a fair statement, because you do have these two factions. I've said this before. You have like extremists in the collecting world. You have the, you know, in-art or a Hot Toys killer. That's it, game over. And then you have people who want in-art to fail from day one for whatever reason. Like, the truth lies somewhere in between. Like, you know what I mean? There's two companies. They're both going to push each other on. This is just so good, you know? Peter, we haven't heard from you a while. I know we spoke about this earlier, but go in depth about this, please.
I'm buying it. But yeah, it's absolutely stunning. I am just thinking about what Marco said, you know, about the timing of all of this, and we've seen an awful lot of stuff about the in-art Joker over the last week or two. You do wonder if this is to try and end some of that conversation and say, look
over here, look over here.
Yeah,
That's a great
look at me kind of thing. And if it is, it's worked, because this, well, all three look phenomenal, you know. So, and I completely agree, Marco. I could not be chewed with rooted hair on something like this. Just even the Joker gives us palpitations thinking about that one. But yeah, I think it's stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah, this one's definitely coming home, and I think I'm pretty much decided that I will be picking up Mighty Thor, even though I hate the film. But I need that figure represented, I think.
The sculpt is that good that it'll make you consider it from a film that I didn't like either. I'm like, oh, actually, this is one I'm taking a second look at.
Yeah.
I didn't mind.
Probably helps that Natalie Portman is stunning as well. Like,
Exactly. She's
Yeah,
a work
yeah.
hard already.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it when I was doing my video earlier on, and I was like, okay, I think this is a better sculpt than, I think this looks more like Natalie Portman than the Padme. But then I was thinking they've been a bit kind to her because, you know, it's 20 years later. But then I was like, no, she looked phenomenal in Love and Thunder as well. Like, it's like she really hasn't aged that much. She's still stunning and fresh faced. Like, so it's a great sculpt. So we're going to go on to, actually, speaking of Natalie Portman, we may as well transition on there to that. But Calvin, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, did you have any interest in this beforehand? What do you think of this sculpt? Did you get a chance to see the updates?
It's definitely one I've been eyeing, and since the updates, I was like, damn, okay, I might have to go ahead and bite that bullet. But now I'm debating, do I want this one or the integrated suit? Because I have to get the trio of the Peters. So I was going to do that, but I might have to swap that integrated out for this one.
Gotcha.
I mean, actually, Shane, we're concentrating on the head sculpt there, which is for right reasons, because it's phenomenal. But actually, this is probably my favourite spider suit that they've put out. It's just stunning. So I probably would have been picking this up anyway, even without a bob-on Peter Parker head sculpt, because I just love the costume.
Yeah, no, you're right. We'll flick on and see if there's a bit more.
Like, Shane, can you put your finger on exactly what they've updated here? I haven't had a chance to do side by side, but it feels like the jawline is maybe where they did the most work.
What I think it is, I mentioned this in a stream earlier on. I will see if I can go back to this. Right. So Tom Holland, I think around these parts of his mouth here, he kind of has some sort of like dimples or something. And I think they exaggerated it. The best example I can think of is the quarter scale Spider-Man from Homecoming. The head sculpt on that, it was a good head sculpt, but it looked like he had marbles in his mouth. And people were saying he has a toad in his mouth or something like that.
Like an underbite.
yeah, they really wanted to capture those little dimples or something like that. And it just ended up looking like he had food in his mouth or something. And I think there was a little bit of that in the first version of this we were shown. But I think they've toned it down now. That I think they've nailed it now. It's definitely still there, but it's not. It's just, can you see what I mean? It's just like, it's like he has a little bit of something in his mouth here, but that's just, he does have that look. I think that's what they've done. But I have to do a side by side, really. Yeah. So 5 on the panel. This was update or no update. I don't think this is one that this isn't one that I thought needed an update. I'm glad they've done it because I'm interested in it. I was interested in before the updates. I'm just more interested in it now. Mace Windu, that's one I think they need to mess with.
Need to have a look.
People been waiting long enough. I think they need to tweak that Mace Windu. Obviously, the other two we've never seen before, but I'm going to be picking this up. Sounds like Peter is. It sounds like
I love
Ben
how you say
is.
that name, by the way, Shane.
Well,
Yeah, it was
Mace Windu. It's like it's
Windu.
poetic.
why do I pronounce it wrong?
I'm not even. I probably pronounce it wrong, but just the way you say it, it just sounds great.
Mace Windu. That doesn't sound like it's from the Galactic.
Mace Windu.
Yeah. Well, I heard people say like Mace Window. That's not right.
That's
I feel attacked.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
Americans we pronounce it with the do a lot longer. It's like Mace Windu.
Yeah, that could be worse. I
Mace
could be
Windu.
saying.
There you go,
It could be
Mace
worse.
Windu.
I could be like Ben Thomas saying I'm going to Las Vegas. Like so.
That's right. Sorry,
I
didn't mean
picked
to
up
make
on
you
that and I was
self-conscious
waiting
there.
for someone to say it. The poor guy got dogs abuse
Oh,
on
man.
Collecting Weekly.
Any
Ben, if you're
opportunity
watching, I love you.
to, pile on Ben. We always take it.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mace needs an update. We're going to move on then from this one, I think. Sorry, Marco, you're in. I think everyone's interested in this. Would that be fair? In some capacity. Okay. And the other one then, we'll just. What's the next one up here? Yeah, that was perfect. I'll have to take a look here. Calvin, do you want to weigh in on this one here? The Mighty Thor, Natalie Portman. Did you have an interest in this before?
Hold on 1 second.
No problem. He's getting pulled over.
No, I'm going through customs coming back into California, but
Wow.
it's
You
a
locked,
headache.
have you locked the guys in the back of the lorry? They're not coming out.
No, I've never had. I've had a couple of drug runs I've been off before. I was like, hell no.
That was supposed to stay between us, Calvin.
So you were the kingpin. Okay,
That's
I
right.
didn't know.
I wondered what you were doing on that trip to
That's
Mexico.
Foils are
Uh,
nice.
I love Natalie Portman, but no interest in this. If anybody, it'd be Valkyrie that I picked up out of this line. But I already have the third party for my in-game collection, so I probably won't go with any of these.
Mm-hmm. I'm just actually noticing the seamless arms here as well. Yeah. Like they look really good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah, they look
definition
good.
there. Yeah.
Just like that.
Like you can see that it's not just a straight piece of plastic. Like I'm looking at her left arm here, and you can see like definition around the shoulder and the bicep, and then on the right arm then as well. Like she's got that definition on the bicep and everything. It's if that's what comes out. Well, assuming I know these are prototypes, but if it comes out like that, it'll look a lot more anatomically correct, I suppose. Peter?
Yeah, like I say, I have a real physical pain for the movie, so that's the only thing that's holding us back, really. But I do want. Thor's my favorite character from comics and from movies, so I always pick up the Thor related stuff, really. So I am very, very tempted by this. I'll probably not pre-order. I'll probably hang back and see someone do a review or something first, and then make a decision at that point. Because I'm looking at that head sculpt, which is stunning, but I'd probably want a helmet on, to be honest.
You're the
So-
only man in history who's ever said that about Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
the shine, so I can look at myself in it.
that was quick.
I was just sick in my mouth.
Which is a perfect segue. So Ben, like I know we were basically in the same train of thought with this movie, as in time of your life you're not getting back. Yeah.
No, I don't. Do you not remember the stream? It was awkward because
Oh no, I do.
you
I'm
lot
just
all bloody
winding you
hated
up.
it. Well, I took the bait.
No, we had the same opinion on Multiverse
Damn
of
it.
Madness, but yes, you still like goats.
Look, I am who I am. I mean, like, this character, out of all of the characters in the film, to be honest, was one of the bigger letdowns, just because I really loved that original Thor run that she was in, the Mighty Thor, and you know, that story lasted what, Peter, like over a year, was it?
Yeah, it was well over a year.
Until the reveal, you know, of who it was, and we kind of got that story in 15 minutes of this film, and you know, that was a huge letdown. But as Peter says, it's kind of the only representation of that character and that story that we're gonna get now, and I think if anything's gonna steer me to getting the figure as good as the head sculpt is, it's probably more the fact that it's a character that I'm so fond of from the source material, and I do, you know, the MCU like costume department like pretty much always get it right, and you know, just as a design, this looks awesome. I think I honestly think it's just a bit of a Brucey bonus having 9.5 10 out of 10 head sculpt, because I'm the same. I need that helmet on, unfortunately. Sorry, Natalie. Put it on.
Seems like such a shame. Brandon Salad, I've seen this a few times in the chat, but Brandon Salad, I'm anticipating that Doc Ock update, because they said they would update that. What's interesting is they announced the Wenwu. It was a very strong head sculpt. No one was crying out about it. They announced an update. They announced the Robert Pattinson Batman, and to be fair, it was a strong head sculpt, but yes, people did comment saying that the hair was too straight. It would be messy after he took off the cowl, and they did that. But they did say, JC Hong on his Facebook said, look, this is not the final sculpt on day one of the Doc Ock, but we haven't seen the update yet. But they basically said that they're going to update that in the same way that they've said they're going to update the Ant-Man one, you know. But fair point though, Brandon, I'm right there with you. But my mind was with Mace Windu. I'm not sold on Portman. You don't think it looks like her? Yeah,
it's as spot on as can be, in my opinion.
I think this is
Does he mean as the Mighty Thor in the movie?
Maybe
that,
or maybe
as a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't like her.
Yeah. Please chime in again for some context. So maybe he doesn't see the likeness here, or maybe he doesn't like her as an actress, or. This is a great point. Is Calvin driving a Los Pollos Hermanos truck? So there you have it, Marco, an Irish guy trying to speak some sort of Spanish. Huh?
You said it better than I did, actually. So.
Yeah.
That's my
¿Cómo estás?
chicken.
So Doc Ock definitely needs to be updated. Yeah, I think I'm not worried about that, because they said they do it. If they don't do it now, they'll just be giving everyone a stick to beat them with. I think there's a third party, Dark World Jane, coming soon, Pete. Calvin staying on the move. Yeah, so sorry, I think Peter chimed in this, and so did everyone but Marco. So we'll just ignore and move on to the next one then.
Fair.
For the best.
Right.
Seems
Okay,
like a good
sorry,
strategy.
go on. This is your time to shine. Okay, this is your time to shine.
Oh, my time to shine, no pressure.
This is your time to shine. Okay,
So I will say this is probably, first of all, Han Solo. There you go. Such a banger figure.
Why
so
do you
I will
have nothing
say,
in the middle?
Because my Joker is coming. My sculpted Joker, not my rooted Joker, but my sculpted is on the way. So made room for him.
In 5 months' time.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so this film was, I think, in most of our like most anticipated films, right? Coming off the back of Ragnarok, it's like, how could this be bad with they're bringing back Natalie Portman? Like it was set up to be a really great movie, and just ended up being such a snoozer. Like I fell asleep in the theater, and I know everyone else that I was with, I talked to them afterwards. They said the same thing. Like we actually fell asleep. It was disappointing to say the least.
Speaking of falling asleep.
Wow, exactly. Watching the Batman, the 6 scale scoundrel, everyone calls me that. I can't get away from that name. You know, I didn't definitely didn't give it to myself. So
Yeah.
That's
But-
Mario,
Mario,
how are
the
you?
panty
I
dropper and
have a
meat
question. I have a question.
Wish
So
people called me that.
I was listening to
right.
I was listening to a stream recently, and Mario was on it, and I don't know, it was something that people were mispronouncing his name or something. Like what was the
They said Mario.
like Mary,
Mario.
Yeah.
but it's more. It's like is it Mario?
It's Mario, but they were like Mario. He was like, "What the hell?"
Like Mario.
I think a fair amount of folks pronounce it Mario instead of Mario, though, right? I've heard that for
Yeah.
like Mario Brothers.
Oh,
Mario.
right. Mario. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. That's something that's like a pet hate of mine, not getting people's names right. You know, it's probably because from teaching or whatever. Like, but yeah. So Jack, what do you think about this now? Phil is here. I have to bounce, guys, but we'll catch you on the rewind, and you'll probably catch us at Celebration. Phil is going to be at Celebration.
Oh, good.
Everyone besides Marco is going to Celebration.
We don't need
Deadpool-
a reminder.
I like Portman as a Jane Foster figure. I'm not seeing the Hot Toys AAA game. Ooh, that's fair enough. Your title, your opinion, it's all subjective. But God, I definitely see Natalie Portman in this.
That's a tough take. The one on the left looks about as spot on as any sculpt that I've seen recently. Honestly.
I gotta admit, Hot Toys they're getting better and better. They're up in different facets of their games. Their paint application, their rolling eyes, the likeness, the sculpted hair is very good.
As
So-
long as the final turns out as strong as these protos
Yeah,
are, right? Because I think
yeah.
like Shang-Chi was one that, was really, really strong prototype, decent final, but not quite 1-to-1.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Everyone they hear Mario and it's just like N1 dropped yet. I'm actually 100% Team Mario on this. Like, I don't think that N1's coming. I'm up to date with Mandalorian. I don't think it's coming. I think it's like a bit of guerrilla marketing.
I don't know. Jazz Inc. said he may do it.
So, but like
the
Hot
beard
Toys one.
might be coming off.
Hot Toys one.
Hey, I thought we said M1 period. If a live
that was
if his 1/6 scale comes out, I thought he was losing that beard.
That was a stream that you were on. I'm just saying, like, if I'm saying the N1 isn't coming, I don't think it's coming. I'm just talking about the Hot Toys one that Marco saw at was it San Diego Comic-Con or something?
Yeah, it was at
San Diego
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it was massive.
It was very big, but like
I
I
hope
said, a
I'm
lot
wrong,
of dead
though.
space. I could imagine them, especially seeing all the people holding the bat wings and that selling out and then going back up for pre-order. There's a
I wish
demand
he
for
had
these
done
larger.
that.
Well, I know, yeah. that's gotta be
I've been
tough for some.
I've been ready to push that button all day.
Calvin, you're getting it. Don't even lie to us. I saw a place right out in the theater room that'll be perfect for it.
Yeah, my wife will love that.
So here we've got some valuable advice here. So Jetta is saying recommends skipping her and just buying more clones. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. On that note, I'm actually going to go down to get another beer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a question. And the question is for everyone on the panel and everyone in the chat. Now, it's not an easy question to answer. Well, maybe it may or may not be. I'm just going to drop it. And I'll be back to you momentarily. So the question is, if you had to sell one figure today, what will it be? So Marco, you're in charge, right? And I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Wow, so you could go a lot of different ways. I love how he does this, where he just leaves the stream unattended here. But you could go a lot of different ways with this question, right? You could say, like,
Marco, don't fuck up.
I'm going to mess up already. I'm already sweating. But you could say, like, which figure do I want to capture the most value out of, right? What's worth the most that I could get more figures from? Like, which figure do I just want out of my collection? And I'm going to go that direction. I'm going to say a figure that, like, underwhelmed me, but I was excited for. I would say the Civil War Ant-Man was probably my weirdest purchase, in that, like, it's a cool figure, it's a cool costume, but in terms of, like, posability, in terms of just value overall, it's probably one that could just leave the collection and I would be totally fine with. But Peter, how about yourself?
That's really hard because I've not been collecting probably as long as you guys. I've only been collecting a year or so. And I can honestly say that I love all of my figures. I wouldn't want to. There's none that jump to mind straight away. If I had to pick one, and it's not because of how it looks now, because it looks stunning now, it's just the memories attached to it. It's the Black Box Rocketeer, because it's an absolute bastard of a figure to play with, to set up the
You got
laces
that
on
too,
him.
Calvin, right?
Well, I didn't hear what he said. It broke up.
The
Black Box.
Rocketeer.
Black Box Rocketeer.
The Black Box Rocketeer. That was one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid, so I loved it.
Yeah, so I love the movie as well. So I picked the figure up, but it's just an awful figure. It looks lovely once you've got it set, but the laces are awful. The body's awful. The gun doesn't look the right size, and
that was a set and forget for me. I just have him propped up like he's taking off, and I don't touch it.
Yeah, and it didn't help that because you have to put the vest and the waistcoat in.
Now that took
fiddle
forever.
with all the little tiny buttons you put in individually. So I did that, and then realized I hadn't put the rocket pack on, so I had to undo it and do it
Oh
again.
no!
Yeah. I popped about 4 buttons off going through it. It was a big.
I felt terrible for you. I'm sorry.
But I love it now. I love how it looks now because I got the display base thing with flames and stuff. But that would be my one to get rid of because of how irritated I get when I look at it.
Nice. And Ben, how about yourself?
I've recently offloaded a handful of, pretty much all of my 1/6 scale horror collection, to get a kind of very random piece, but my Small Soldiers Major Chip Hazard sort of replica. And like I think for me, the sort of the nostalgia and stuff like that is outweighs kind of. I don't know, that outweighs everything for me at the moment. That being said, one of the figures that is most nostalgic for me is my Indiana Jones Present Toys, but it's the biggest pain in the arse in my whole collection as well. The knee joints and the ankle joints are just as floppy as they come, and it's frustrating because it could be such a special figure for me, but I'm just infuriated with it every time I try and sort of get it in a new pose. That is a bummer to hear. I recently bought some like aquarium kind of like stones and stuff, and like an aquarium temple ruin thing, just to try and sort of elevate it a little bit and have something to kind of prop it up against. So yeah, it's a big shame, but I think if I was like a lot of the horror figures, I wasn't sad to see go because they were also the same. Like all the Sideshow figures have terrible joints. Trick or Treat Studio figures are essentially Barbie bodies. Like, so it was sad to sort of see the head sculpts go more than anything, because the bodies were terrible. So yeah, if I had to get rid of anything, it would be that. But I'd definitely be praying for a Hot Toy indie re-release, at some point.
It's such a shame because it's the same as, because I've got that one the same as Ben, and the costume, the head sculpt's not bad, everything's great on it, but like you say, the joints are just awful. Mine just falls over constantly because I don't like to use stands, but the ankles just aren't strong enough to hold the weight of the figure.
Yeah. That is such a bummer to hear because I'm considering that Present Toys Wasteland Ranger, the Mad Max.
Yeah, and just be cautious of the
okay.
Especially because you don't use stands either, do you?
I don't use stands, no.
My man.
But that's the life I've gone into now, and it's frustrating because it's like it was a great decision, and I'm really happy I made it, and the collection just seems so much more kind of classy and immersive, but it's also been the biggest curse because it's just meant that I've had to spend so much more time trying to get the right positions and putting the museum gel in the right place, and
sounds like a pain.
Which did you said an indie, was it?
Yeah, but like purely based on the figure's body being the worst probably in my whole collection now, but the actual figure itself, like the tailoring, the real leather jacket, the head sculpt's not great, but it's enough for me to sort of get that you know,
That's
have
the
John
Present Toys
Williams
indie,
score
yeah?
play in my head as I look at it and stuff like that. Yeah, Present Toys. But they did do. Peter, did you get the second batch?
Yeah,
when
I got the 2.0.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
so mine's the first batch and it was bad, and
Yeah.
they've not improved the body on that second batch.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, like I say, once I've got it posed, I don't move it much. It's literally just the ankles that I've got the museum gel like Ben, and literally every time I go into the room, he's toppled forward or backwards because you just can't hold the weight. So yeah, it's frustrating.
And what did you pick, Peter?
Rocketeer.
Rocketeer,
It's a
gotcha.
lovely figure once it's all set up and it looks great, but it was just an awful experience getting it all set up and right.
Gotcha. I remember I watched that movie. I only watched it once a long time ago. I
It's
remember
tremendous.
liking it. Marco?
I went with a figure that I think could leave the collection. So I went with the Civil War Ant-Man, which is a figure that I like but don't necessarily love compared to everything else. So I'd be fine with that getting gone. And I don't think Kelvin went yet.
Calvin?
Night Monkey Spider-Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Of all the Spider-Man I have, I think that's the one I can't stand the most. But I love his face that lights up for the Lava Man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some deals going on that. I see that. Mine's a strange one. When I look through the figures that I wouldn't say I'm a wheeler dealer. I definitely kind of try to buy to hold, but if I have definitely sold some figures, usually in anticipation of a better one version, upgraded version of whatever. But I think if one had to go as of today, it probably would be the Heavy Mandalorian. Because when I think of what I want to represent from Mandalorian, from season 1 and 2, like the jury's out with me if season 3 is going to be good or not. So far it's been okay. But seasons 1 and 2 I absolutely loved. And when I think of the key episodes that just blew my mind, it was probably the same ones that everyone else loved. It was the Ahsoka episode, the episode when Boba Fett got his armor back, and then the season finale with Luke. So Ahsoka's on the way, the Boba Roba's there. I'm on the edge of ordering. I'm going to be ordering that Luke as well from Line Rock, and then after that it's Durasteel Mando and a Beskar Mando. I think as far as season 1 or 2 go, I'm set. Like the Heavy Mandalorian is a great figure. It looks great on the shelf. It's a big figure. I like the color and the weathering and that huge kind of blaster he has. And in fairness, he was really using that as well in the last episode of Mandalorian. Spoiler, sorry. Yeah, it probably would be him because in 10 years' time, I'll still look at that RoboCop and go, that was awesome.
Yeah.
In 10 years' time, I'm still going to be looking at the T800 over my shoulder and go, love that. I could justify going back and getting a DX13 because I know I'll still love Terminator 2 and 10, 20. I probably will love Terminator 2, RoboCop, Aliens, The Dark Knight until the day I die. That is the realistic. They're locked in. But in 10, 20, 30 years' time, I'll be like, oh, Heavy Mando, yeah. I don't, cool. Don't get me wrong, but will I be like, that was a major, part of what I love? I suppose that's it. But thanks very much for babysitting the stream. Thank you. Checks in the mail. There is a second part to that question, but I think at this point we'll probably look at the last announcement, which they're saying an update, but we never saw this before. It was blurred out as well, I believe. And this is Letitia Wright. I first saw this actress on probably my favorite TV show on Netflix, Black Mirror.
Oh yeah.
My God.
great episode, isn't it?
I love that show. It is messed up. Oh God! If anyone hasn't watched Black Mirror,
Don't do it. Don't watch it if you haven't seen it.
you remember the first episode?
I recommended it to a coworker, not remembering that first episode and what it entailed, and she came back like, "What the heck did you send me to watch?" I was like,
have the same experience. I recommended it to a guy at work. I forgot that, just in case anyone's watching who hasn't seen Black Mirror, all the episodes are standalone episodes. It's like an anthology, I believe it's called. But if you're watching the first episode, I don't want to ruin it, but I recommended this guy watch it. He went home and watched it with his fiance. He came in the next day. He was not impressed with me at all.
Remind me what that one was about, the first one. Oh,
yeah.
British Prime Minister.
Yeah. Yeah. It mirrored real life a little bit almost, didn't it?
Yeah, it was very close to the bone, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
God. What a show, though. What a show. But anyway, her episode, first time I ever saw her on screen was that episode, and absolutely loved it. And I was thinking she's going to be a star, and then I saw her in obviously Black Panther and stuff like this. So who wants to go first here, folks? Anyone there?
I'll chime in. So this film's a weird one, really. Like it's a very, for me, it was an important film in terms of like the grief of a fan, of Chadwick, and kind of going through that journey and experiencing, the filmmakers and the cast and stuff, kind of putting their grief into telling this new story. I felt like the whole experience was important, but it's not ever going to be a film that I go, hey guys, let's sit down and watch Wakanda Forever. It was kind of a film that I watched at the cinema, then I watched again at home. I actually had a little cry at home after I watched it at home, and it's kind of like it's done now, for me. I do think that her as a character, Shuri as a character, isn't that likable for a lot of the film. Like she kind of goes through a journey that T'Challa essentially kind of went through in Civil War. So by the time we got the Black Panther film, he was kind of already the hero that we needed him to be. Unfortunately for her, she kind of didn't complete that journey till the end of this film. So what you're watching for a lot of the film is quite an unlikable, angry individual, and I didn't warm to her, So because of that, I'm getting to my point eventually. Because of that, it's not a character or a figure that I really want in my collection, because I just don't feel that kind of connection. I'm not sort of drawn to her. That being said, I think the outfit was really nice. Obviously it's got the kind of Killmonger element to it, and some of the smaller details kind of linking back to her original costume in the first film. So it is a really nice figure, and if someone's got that kind of Wakanda setup, I think this is going to be a really, really nice addition. But yeah, for me, it's not something I'm interested in, unfortunately.
Just want to say as well, Mario there, if you want to jump in, just let us know in the chat and I can send you on the link if it suits you. No worries if not. I remember watching PJ the Paradox Nerd long before I had a YouTube channel, long before I had a collector photography Instagram. I think we can all relate to this. And PJ used to always say, a live stream ain't a live stream without King Ding-a-ling. So it is humbling when these pillars of the 1/6 scale community take time out of their day to jump in and say hello. So guys, we're just going to pause the Shuri feedback, and we're just going to maybe address this comment here. So King Ding-a-ling, hey guys, any thoughts on the delay of John Wick reveal? Perhaps Hot Toys forgot to add a 0 in the licensing check. Anyone want to chime in on that? Do you have any theories? Or I just think it's not ready personally. I think that they're definitely coming. It'd be very unusual if they don't do a Keanu Reeves when they have a chance, and they've already done is it Don Lee? What's the name of the actor? Donnie Yen. Sorry,
you're way off. Samsonite.
What?
It's a Dumb and Dumber reference. Samsonite.
Samsonite, yeah. Swanson, Mary, Swimmy, Swammy, Samsonite. Dumb and Dumber is probably one of the most quotable movies.
I need to go back and do a rewatch. What
Yeah,
a
I haven't
all-time
watched
great.
it in a long time.
We've got no jobs. We've got no money.
I went to school
Heads
with
are
the
falling
blind
off.
kid. The blind kid with the bird. I went to
Yeah.
high
Oh,
school with
gosh.
it.
Did you?
No way.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's
Well, there's claim to
crazy.
fame.
And like, was he blind in real life?
No.
That wasn't supposed to be funny. Why are you laughing, Peter?
That'd be ironic, wouldn't it? That would be nice, yeah.
Oh, hear him with the jokes. Ironic.
Yeah.
No. So, right,
Wow.
so he was an actor. Gotcha. Okay, right. So anyway, Donnie Yen, who only plays blind characters apparently, he
He's amazing.
yeah, they've made him already, so I presume he's going to be made again.
And he's absolutely incredible in the film. I hope there's not an issue here because, I mean, as I've said before, I've got kind of like a nostalgia movies section, and I've decided I've got to have John Wick in there because I've loved every film so far. So he's got to be represented, and I would probably pick up Donnie because he's phenomenal in the film. So I really do hope they must have. I mean, they've already got Keanu's head sculpt, haven't they? In terms of the license, they've done them before. So-
Any excuse.
Several times.
Yeah, if he did a beer ad, they'd probably make him. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know if he just did a Budweiser ad or something? Yeah. So, do you think do you have any thoughts on this? Do you think they're not ready, or do you think it's a licensing thing, or what do you think, Peter? Like,
I just don't think it's ready. I think they've probably put, because they didn't show his face, did they? They just showed him from kind of the waist down or the chest down or something.
the tailoring looked amazing.
The tailoring was phenomenal, but the head sculpt's probably just not there yet. And if they really are conscious of how good in-art stuff is at the moment, they don't want to take the risk putting anything out that's going to get criticism. So they're probably sitting on it, waiting for it to be perfected, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ben?
Yeah, I think it's probably like an admin error. Like someone didn't tell someone else that the contract wasn't signed or whatever yet, and they posted the picture before the boxes were crossed. So they quickly kind of retracted it, and I'm sure in a couple of weeks things will be finalized, and then they'll go, actually, no, you can post the picture now. So
someone got fired. Okay.
yeah,
Someone got
basically.
fired. Marco, the 6 scales counter.
Marco and admin.
Yeah, so I completely agree with Ben. So the rational side of my brain completely agree with Ben. Is probably just miscommunication amongst the various departments. Someone just pushed it too early. We see it happen with movie trailers or other things. So happens all the time, or not all the time, but every now and then. But in terms of an LWO representative, we like to keep the facts very speculative. So I want to say these figures are canceled. You should panic. Get no more John Wicks. Go actually purchase the previous figures for a very high markup because that's probably the last John Wick we'll ever see. So that's right.
Yeah, I have my tinfoil hat. This is not what I think actually happened, but I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat.
Do it.
They did it on purpose. They flashed it up, they took it away, so that people think it's not coming, so that the price of the John Wick 2 that they've announced soars up and people can't afford it. And then when they inevitably drop this for 250 or 285, everyone buys it. There we go.
They're the heroes.
Problem solved. Yeah, there we go. They're heroes, yeah. Calvin?
I was saying the same as the guys, so I'm gonna just say ditto. I was thinking an overzealous intern jumped the gun, hit the button, and it was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Calvin, actually,
Yes,
I
sir.
see King Dingaling's second follow-up comment here. I will go back to the comments in between. Nice. The current figure on eBay is insane now. The kind of app or website that I use a lot to buy like second-hand Hot Toys figures in Ireland, sometimes actually brand new box, adverts.ie. When I look, and I've seen John Wick's pop up there, new in box, like multiple times, for like basically retail, maybe a bit above retail. I think there's actually one on there at the moment. But those Ghostbusters, that Blitzway 4-pack has popped up again. Like it was originally like €2,000, and then it dropped down to 1.5, and then it dropped down to 1, and it was dropped up to 750, and I was like, all right, I'm going to buy these and flip them, put in a at the asking price, and then they just shut down the thing. People realize, okay, maybe they were using it to gauge interest or whatever, but they're back for €1,500. Now that's not enough for me to take that risk for $500, but I'd take it for $750. You know what I mean? You sell them for $2,000, you've got like, what, €1,250. I'd take that gamble any day of the week, and I don't really flip figures. I don't flip figures, but like that, yeah, they're back for $1,500. They're all boxed up with Slimer.
These are a pain in my ass. I've had Big Brother and Mario send me like different posts like all week for the last week, and Mario got me this week too. I picked up an original Han Solo from PJ actually, the Paradox Nerd, and I was like, damn it, I wasn't supposed to be buying shit before I left.
Yeah, actually, I put a buy sell trade on that, the BST group, just kind of, an ISO DX13, and Zach tagged John in it. Is John like offloading, or maybe he's just
no, he's going through his collection right now and selling a lot of Hot Toys to fund statues. He's been getting like all of the great Batman statues, and I think one Superman. So,
are we talking about the everyday collector?
That's right.
I think it was that Johnny tagged. Yeah, maybe he's just kind of
that. He got that original Hush Superman. I'm like, oh my god, I want that.
It's a beautiful piece. My gosh.
I got the black version, but that sculpted cape is ridiculous.
Yeah, the black and silver version is really beautiful, but yeah, that OG is really nice too. But yeah, so John's going through the collection. I almost bought those Terminator figures off of him, or at least one, but I'm trying to be good because that bill for the Joker 2-pack came due. So
speaking of bills, we have Gigi here and said, y'all ain't funny. This is an inside joke for y'all come home. What does that come for me? I don't get the reference, or
come for me would be like everyone talking smack to her, basically.
Right, I see.
So she wants to talk the smack, but she doesn't want to hear it back, apparently. She can't take it.
I gotcha.
Hey, I love Gigi outside of her, I'm your wife. That's the only thing that triggers me. I can't stand that. I've got my wife in my ear. Every time she says, I'm like, damn it, I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah. But that's entirely on you. There's therapists that will help you out with that, man. Things I'm gonna start saying that to you. I'm your wife. I got a box.
It doesn't hit the same. You need that estrogen in your voice.
Yeah.
See,
they know how to say it just right.
That's right. Our therapy are just the live streams. Soon we're just going to be putting up polls to settle debates. That's all we need. It's very healthy. Very healthy stuff.
Yeah. We have Lael, the 1/6 scale man. He's in transit, so he's on his way.
Shouldn't he be traveling right now?
He said, "Very beautiful, sitting at the airport watching the boys." So he's at the airport now, and he says Ben isn't wearing pants. Can you confirm or deny?
I'm wearing shorts, so I'm not far off.
Let's see the meat platter, Ben.
The knees are.
Whoa!
Wow!
I really hope
it
didn't fall out of the bottom of those shorts.
Speaking of guys who tell it like it is, we got Dan or Dre. I presume it's Dan. Maybe it's Dre. Here come all the in-art haters. Told you in-art sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll be rolling the old in-hand card there. Like, oh, no, if you don't have it in hand, you can't comment on it. Sorry. I actually don't think that's a valid argument with the amount of like YouTubers with like very HD 4K footage or whatever. Usually a fairly good idea. Have you ever actually got a figure in hand that looked spectacular in reviews, and then you get in your hand and it looks the polar opposite? I've never got a figure in hand that looked spectacular in reviews, and then I got in hand it was awful, or vice versa. Might be a little bit of a difference, but
because by the time you watch the reviews, you've seen blogger photos, you've seen multiple reviews, you can kind of triangulate and get usually a good sense of how good it is.
If something's bad, something's bad, and something's good, something's good. There might be some marginal difference where things look a little bit like maybe a point better or worse. But that in-out Joker is pretty spectacular. Leo says, "Told you." And Dan, would you like to come in here and talk some smack? It's on you. Go on, we'll wait. So, yep, Hot Toys, Justice League, Aquaman. Let us know anyway. So I believe I started off with, was it Ben, did you chime in this first with Black Panther Shuri?
I did, yes. Yeah, it's a no
Peter?
for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very similar to Ben, really. I think the head sculpt is superb. I like the costume, but the movie didn't blow us away. I've just picked up Black Panther, the Chadwick version, obviously, so he's represented in my collection. So I'm not rushing to get this one, I have to say. But I do think the head sculpt's amazing. I think it looks very good.
Yeah, gotcha. And the 6 scale scoundrel?
Yes, so this is one that I never do this, but I pre-ordered this without seeing the sculpt, knowing that it was coming, because I was like, I like the suit enough, I like the film enough that this is representation I wanted to have in the collection. I think that this looks great, honestly. Like I said before, oversized a bit. It is kind of her proportions, but it almost needs to be scaled down just a little bit. And I kind of felt the same way about the Spider-Man photo in a few shots, so perhaps it's kind of the perspective they're using. But yeah, overall, no complaints. I think the only thing I would have liked to see was a bit of an angrier sculpt, because she spends so much of the film just really upset. So the neutral expression doesn't necessarily capture the character for the film. But overall, I think that it'll look perfect on the shelf. I'm still upset that we haven't seen any more from this film, right? We saw her.
How have we not got Namor?
Yeah.
How have we not received him? How have we not received
Okoye.
many characters? Okoye.
Okoye in the outfit from the bridge scene. That's what needs to happen. But they'll more than likely, if they were to do an Okoye, they'll probably give it that silly Iron Man suit.
Yeah. I'm very surprised they've not done an Ironheart, to be honest, because Iron Man sells.
Well.
So Ironheart, I would have thought would have been right up there.
This film was like, even though it didn't necessarily meet expectations for most, because the expectations were so sky high, there's like some great figure potential with so many of these characters. So shocking that they haven't explored this line more.
Yeah, that's it's true. Yeah, because there's so many different figures which would seem like very obvious. Like you said, the Ironheart, either version of Okoye, Namor, the Atuma. Do you know, like, I mean, Atuma might be a stretch, but you know what I mean.
Like that.
Yeah. I even like the Queen in the kind of one of her outfits. They were all spectacular,
yeah.
So it was, I don't think though. At the end of the day, like, I probably won't get this myself. I think in terms of Black Panther, that Chadwick Boseman one with the traditional mask and shield, although I hope they make the sculpt better than previous versions. Like, that was one I would love to see one of these announcements for, where they just dial in his likeness.
They have to. It being the kind of the ultimate figure for him.
Yeah.
They got it.
Yeah, I think if I had that, I'd be sorted. Just going to read a comment here. So OG, I think OG, in fairness, I think you're biased because you're a major Star Wars fan. Not sure if it's in art hate. It's just so much time and energy has been expended on a single figure, and it's really quite ridiculous. You know what? You're not entirely wrong. I know that Dean the Dream, Collecting Weekly, I've watched him on a stream recently, kind of said, he's like, oh man, I was over talking about this about a year ago. And like, he's not wrong. Like, it just, I think because they came out of the gate, they did a lot of communication, the prototype was really good, the character they picked was, right on the money, massive trilogy, massive film, particularly iconic version of the character, an iconic performance, got the Oscar and all that kind of stuff. They nailed the prototype images, they nailed the videos, the Vegas event, by all accounts, the figures look amazing, and they have delivered. Like, and it's not entirely perfect, but I think it's maybe people are excited about the future to have another option. But you're right, though. You are right. There was a lot of stream time. I done it myself, dedicated to this particular figure in art in general. So yeah. Dan says, I presume it's Dan. Head sculpt look fantastic though. I think Lady Thor is the lesser of the bunch in my opinion. I've heard that a few times today. Alright, love the movie, getting Shuri. Where is Wanda though? Wanda's the new Endgame Cap or Loki.
Really?
Yeah. She'll look good with the head sculpt on, or the mask on, or the little tiara or whatever. Like, I think Loki. I have Loki here, and after all the controversy, like with the helmet on, he's designed to wear the helmet. Really, that's where the likeness is. But without, it's just not really there. And Calvin, did Shuri or Black Panther?
Oh, she's coming home. Anything Black Panther related is coming home. Now, I don't know about this mech test, whatever that came out yesterday or the day before.
Oh no, you said anything, man. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that.
You heard it, folks.
Damn near anything Black Panther related is coming in.
Yeah, I think we'll forgive you skipping. We'll forgive you if you want to skip on the mech test. The mech wars. Is it mech wars?
Whatever it was. Now, when I saw that it turned into a panther, I was like, maybe in the panther end, but I'm like, I don't need a Black Panther Iron Man.
Yeah. And this isn't a hot take, because I'm sure others have said this, but hot toys are sometimes so fragile, especially the Iron Men and with the plastic bits. How are you going to be transforming this thing? Yeah. My Mark 47's magnets don't even stay on. How do you expect me to transform back? Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
I just want to... I recorded a video earlier on this. It goes live, I think, in about another half an hour, but I admire just not only the head sculpt, but the suit itself. This is one of those suits when you shine the light on it, the particular type of light, it's a blue light or whatever, you can see all the luminous effect on it, because the suit, like the Black Panther suit in the Solo movie, it absorbs kinetic energy, stores it for redistribution. So the suit is not just a matte black, there's design on it, but when you shine the light on it, you can see all these little kind of almost like, it's weird, they're like all these little tiny little triangles to make that up. That is impressive. I have to say that is really impressive. And then as well, the suit itself, it does have like a variety of different colors. So like you've got the gold, you've got the silver, all the different things in it. I do think it is very impressive, to be fair. And I do think the head sculpt is, I think they've nailed it now, to be quite honest. I just have to go back to that head sculpt.
It's damn good right here.
Just like all the imperfections, like the little scars and stuff, like it's so good. The texture of the skin, like unbelievable.
Liel saying, I think we all just need to revel in the fact that we are getting variety from all 6-scale companies. They're positive takeaways from them. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, it's become very... you're either with us or against us. You're either for them or you're against them. You're either team InArt is InArt or Hot Toys killer or
Pepsi or Coke.
It's like, as much as I love what's sitting in front of me here now, in my streams and videos, I have outlined some of the things they really need to improve on, because I wasn't a fan that the two head sculpts were rattling around in those tubes when I got them, and I'm also not a fan that I got two of the same head sculpts. Like, that's not cool. So but like Lion Rock, I've contacted them, they've contacted InArt, they said they're going to sort it fine, so we'll wait and see. But there's definitely probably a small number of people in the community who might latch on that and go, see, it's crap, I told you. But it's not. It's just like, it's quality control. That's pretty much it. Like,
I just kind of think this is a cop-out answer from Lael, though. Pick a side, Lael. What team are you on?
You're either with them or you're against them, man. Come on, join our team.
Bloody diplomat.
The 6-scale scoundrel, man. What are you like?
Such a scoundrel.
Right. So, Marco, you have to jump off in a few minutes, yeah?
Yeah, in just a little bit. I've got a meeting upcoming, so I have to jump
you know
in
what?
about 10 to 15.
Okay, that's actually perfect. So, because there was a follow-up answer there. There's a follow-up question there. I had... okay.
You're going to take that cap off for the meeting? Okay.
Yes, I will be taking this cap off. I'll be putting on a collared shirt. I can, play both sides here.
Says the guy with no pants, huh?
It's a pie.
Right, so there was... Earlier on I asked you... if you had to sell one figure from your collection today, what would it be? But now, this is a question for ye, and a question for the people in the chat as well. If you had to work backwards on one figure. Now, Peter, you probably have them all, so I'm sorry. This is if you have to go and find yourself a G-bomb or whatever, there's one figure that you're like, okay, it's long sold out. You know, it's maybe you started collecting after this was sold out, or maybe it's on, you know, like it's just one of those figures that is not in most stores, and you want to work backwards on. You'd be willing to pay a little bit premium. What would that figure be? That's open to anybody in the chat there, and anyone on the panel then as well. Anyone, just no order if you want to chime in there, folks.
So, for me, probably the only one I can think of is the ones I mentioned earlier, the Ghostbusters. I don't have Ghostbusters represented in the collection, and that is a movie that meant a lot. So I think probably that 4-pack plus a Slimer would be something I would look for.
Look at this guy. I said one figure, and he goes straight for the 4-pack.
Honestly, technically, it's one thing, isn't it? You know what I mean?
No, it's not. That's 4 figures. But I'll allow it. Okay, I'll allow it. That's fine. So grand. So $2,000 bill then for you. Ben, is there anything that like you missed out on that you really, if you had to narrow it down, you'd be like, yeah, I'd be willing. I know we've all missed out on things, like, but is there something you'd be willing to work backwards on?
I need a Stormtrooper. I need just a classic Stormtrooper, please.
Original trilogy one.
Yes.
I actually, the one that I have, right? Word of advice: if you do see them for sale, or maybe they 2.0 them, the one I have is branded not A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back or Jedi. It's just Star Wars Trilogy, Original Trilogy. And at the time, you could get the Trooper on its own, or you get the Trooper with that Death Star background that lights up. And because I think it was coming up to Christmas, and the girlfriend said, "What do you want?" and I was kind of like dropping not so subtle hints. It was like a sledgehammer to the face. Yeah, this is what I want. I was like, I don't want to kind of like take the piss here, so I goes, just get the regular version. Big mistake. The Death Star diorama just looks so cool. So if you do see them on eBay, and if they do pop up at a decent price, and you can swing the Death Star diorama, or it's inevitable that they're going to put them out again at some stage, surely.
Kind of holding out for that. I mean, the other option is I get one of the commanders and just take the orange thing off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I'd imagine
that will do the trick as well, and they're fairly reasonable. Or a scout trooper. Either way, it's just something to go with my Wicket on Endor. That's kind of what I'm needing now.
Wouldn't the scout trooper
I'm very
not be a
near
bit more
contentness with my collection, which is a nice place to be.
You are in the minority. You've won it.
Never.
Yeah,
enough.
collecting.
Never
Cleared it, mate. I think Marco, I'm going to leave you to last because I think yours might be the same as mine. Okay. Calvin.
Blade.
Oh.
That the second movie or the first one, whichever one it was, but the Blade. Saw that in one of the cases on Sunday as well, and I was just like, and the guy won't sell it. I believe he said that's his last one, so he won't sell it either.
The third party one that's coming out looks pretty good, mind.
That one's decent. Ordered. It's ordered.
Me as well.
I was like, I'm not gonna miss it again.
Yeah.
Trying to hedge your bets. Pete Cass from OFAC has asked you, what are you driving, Calvin?
2018 Kenworth T680.
I thought it was a golf cart, but okay, fair enough. So, Marco, I think yours is the same as mine. Do you want to go first?
Yes, absolutely. And can I just add 2 amendments here? I always get M'Baku's name wrong. I want to put a W in there all the time and call him M'Baku. So M'Baku, and apologies to Skillmonger, and thank you for correcting me if you were there.
It's all right. I struggle with Mace Windu, apparently.
That's right. Now you got it perfect there, at least for my American ears here. And then also, apologies to Dan for not giving him credit. He was definitely the first one to call me the 6-scale scoundrel. So, so shout out to Dan for giving me that name.
He 100%. Literally is saying no one calls him that. right? So
you know, conflicting news here, which you know, would never happen on LWO. But I think we have the same. You said it earlier, DX13, and I had an opportunity to actually pick it up from John. He was going to make me a great price, but I'm really trying to be disciplined right now and not go back and get too much. So yeah, it was, you know, like Alanis Morissette talks about a good Hot Toys deal that you just didn't take. But yeah, it was just hard that I.
She says
says it. She mentions it in the song. But yeah, like I desperately wanted it, but just couldn't. It wasn't the right time. But yeah, is that yours, Shane?
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine. It's mine.
Would love to have it.
Yeah, it's like what happened over the weekend. Yeah, I hate you. Yeah, but I don't. I love you.
Block him.
But yeah, this is the last time he gets on this stream. Yeah, I was telling the lads over the weekend, there's 2 have popped up on adverts.ie, and I'm not sponsored by adverts.ie, I just use them a lot. And the first one I looked at was €400. They had the box, they had the shipper and stuff like that. Not that I care about the shipper, but you know, they had all the little things. They said it was fully complete. The guy was very honest. He said it has the usual peg issues. So basically the left arm is where you unclip the regular arm and clip on the battle damaged arm, which is all torn to crap, which is obviously one of the coolest things about the figure. So he'd pull back like the clothes so you could see that there's like 2 little pegs and one of them just snapped off. Apparently it's a common issue with the figure. Another one pops up as well on adverts and a similar issue, but the first guy, I emailed him or messaged him, kind of goes, look, I am interested in this. What's the jacket like? And he said the jacket's kind of fine, but the belt has the flaking issue a little bit, and it has the arm issue, and the neck's a bit loose. And I was thinking, okay, if you had said everything was fine and it was fine, I would have given the 400 no question, would appreciate your honesty. And I was like, I was going to make him a low ball offer. I was like, then I got to go away and find that belt, and like that's not the end of the world, but just all those little things that you're not sure of. I went down the rabbit hole, contacted a few other people on different websites and groups and stuff like that, and a lot of people were sending me photos of like, oh no, the jacket's fine, but you could see the jacket was just about to give up on life. You know, it was that, you know, that kind of graying whitish color before it starts to flake. I was like, yeah, it's fine. See the pictures. And I was like, no, you showed me pictures of something that's about to flake. But I don't know, is it even possible now? But there's, I've one lead, which it might actually work out. I was chatting to him, but hopefully, yeah. So the DX13 is mine. I think it'd be worth. I've gone back a bit. I've got that Robocop in a chair that worked out well. The T800 worked out well. The Homecoming Spider-Man with the blazer worked out well. So hopefully, get that DX13 would be a big win in the collection. It's one of the ones that I'd really like to pick up. But yeah, so we got Blade, 2 DX13s, and so Ben, you were saying that it's a standard Stormtrooper from the original trilogy, and Peter.
Can't remember.
What's your star gentleman on this?
All right, it's time to wrap it up. So, right. Okay, seeing as the 6 scale scoundrels details are up, Marco, actually, by the way, well done and congratulations on hitting 1,000 subs. Good stuff.
Appreciate
well
that.
Done.
No, thank you. Thank you for all the support as well. And feels good to hit that milestone. I think I've told a few folks. I told Gigi, hey, we hit 1,000 subscribers, and she was just like, okay, you know, predictably unenthusiastic.
She's like,
about
all me.
That's right. You know, it was all her. It was all her. But yeah, so we should be doing a celebratory stream here in the very near future. We'd like to do it on Saturday, but you know, her schedule is pretty crazy right now. So yeah, we'll let folks know on our social media when we're going to go and do all that. And obviously you all are invited, and I'll share the details once we get there.
Excellent.
But
so
yeah,
what's
thank
going
you
up
for
on the
having me today. Yeah, so I would say look for that 1,000 subscriber, you know, kind of party stream. Would love to bring the Bargain Bin Bros back. So hopefully, you know, this week or next we can do another stream, and then another episode of the She Said No podcast. I will have the sculpted Joker in hand, and so want to get Gigi's take. I already know what she's going to say, but it'll still be fun to, you know, put it in her hand and see what she says about it. So that didn't sound right, but yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything, because you're talking about your wife, but I'm glad that you just jumped on that grenade yourself.
I normally do.
Been a long time
But yeah.
since I've put something in anyone's hand.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for hopping in. And like, if you have to jump out, don't worry.
No, I'm good for a few more minutes here. So no, thank you for the invite and great time today.
No problem, and thanks for jumping in, Ben.
Yes. So we went live earlier on my channel for a Geeky Gas Bag show, where we sort of covered the week's just gone worth of geeky, nerdy news. I am bringing back a bit of a fan favorite on my channel, and that's It's Not That Bad. It's a show where I invite guests to come on and defend a film that they love, that they're passionate about, but the reviews or the performance of that film might not be very good. So that's going to come back at the end of the month. So if you stay tuned on my Instagram, I'll announce my first guest and the first film that will be defended for that. Other than that, I'm probably going to do a couple of shorts and a little kind of feature video of cosplayers over at Star Wars Celebration. And maybe include some cameos from these guys as well along the way. So, and then my most recent video is my Grail acquisition, which was my Major Chip Hazard Small Soldiers replica figure. So that unboxing video is live now on the channel for people to watch.
Excellent stuff. Thanks very much for join us. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to not only Ben the Attention Seeking Geek on YouTube and Instagram, but same Marco16Fix. So Peter, the man with all the grails, the king of working backwards. Okay,
I'm just having a look. I put out a couple of videos a week. So last week I put just mentioning the Terminator figure. I put my video about him out last week. I've had a few live shows since then. This week I've got a sideshow Cyclops video going out, and I haven't finished editing it yet, but I've got the Chrome Mando behind us there. That's going to go out this week in the Mars Toys Joker. And then at Celebration, so we'll be doing some bits and bobs there. And then next Monday is my live show, and we're going to be doing our top picks for best Star Wars scenes. So not movies, but the best scenes. And we'll also add the worst scenes. That'll do with Ben and a couple of the other guys on YouTube.
Sand.
It's not been mentioned. I pulled the slides together and nobody's mentioned that one, so that's a miss.
Was every time I go back and watch it, it's just
best scene ever.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, thanks very much for joining us, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Triple G Comics on YouTube. Calvin,
Yes, sir.
you must be going home to pack.
I was, and I just booked another run before I get back home. So I'll get in this evening sometime.
Good stuff. Is there anything coming up? Are you appearing on any channels in the next before you go to London?
No, I will not. I'm trying to get get off of work, and like you said, I really do need a pack. I need to finish at least. I started, but I need to at least finish. And then we fly out tomorrow afternoon.
Excellent stuff. Well, what we'll do is we'll have a few cocktails after the show and we'll go live. So what could go wrong?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks to everyone obviously on the panel for joining. I really do appreciate it.
Appreciate the invite. Thank you, sir.
No problem at all.
For having us.
Otherwise I'd just be talking to myself, but I do that from time to time. So again, just a quick thanks very much to everyone. Thanks very much to people in the chat. If you haven't done so already, follow, subscribe. Just a few things obviously on the channel. This is where I pledge my undying allegiance to InArt for the Rooted 2-pack. This is where I basically roast the entire 1/6 scale community. It's a joke, folks. Get over it. I use these phrases myself too.
SOL.
You got to futz with it. Thoughts on Iron Man, Jesse, Ultron, Kang, nope. Wenwu, Transformers. I love this. And then this is going live today in about 10 minutes time. So we're pretty much done and dusted. And that's us out. Thanks very much, folks. And looking forward to Celebration. So have a very nice evening. Good luck.